From the Broadcast Center at BCIT's Burnaby Campus, this is All Talk Radio. You're listening to 1680 The Crow.
Hello and welcome back to your favorite host, Chris Koo, here with 1680 The Crow Radio. Sorting the garbage in specific bins can be confusing because you might guess that it is put in one bin and it is not. Jerison Rashawn goes into detail the city of Port Coquitlam's new campaign to dispose properly.
According to City Councilor Daryl Penner, the city currently has a 65% diversion rate of disposing waste, and there should be more action to encourage residents to put certain waste in the correct bin. Penner explains the benefits of sorting waste correctly at a city council meeting on October 16th.
The city is highlighting resources available to help residents and businesses to reduce contamination in its blue carts by sorting waste properly, rather than wish cycling or guessing where these items would go.
The city's website has a sorter available to find out which items are put in which bins. For example, a greasy pizza box will be put in the green bin instead of the blue bin. Jerison Rashawn, 1680, The Crow.
Oh, Jerison, so what are the risks of putting items in the wrong bin?
Well, putting an item in the wrong bin can not only make it hard for waste workers to find it, it can also pollute ecosystems and also produce microplastics, which can impact ecosystems.
Right, I hear that. And also, how do you use a Sort It Right sorter in the city's website?
Well, you go to the City of Port Coquitlam's Sort It Right page and its website, and then you put the item you want to put in, and then it will show which bin you put that item in. Back to you.
That's not too hard. Thank you, Jerison. In other news, Rush bassist Geddy Lee says he confronted many truths about himself in writing his new memoir, My Effin' Life. The book takes Lee back through his memories of growing up as a Jewish boy in Toronto, losing his father at a young age, and eventually dropping out of high school to pursue a career in rock music.
These are not the actions of a quiet, shy little nerd, as I always assumed I was. So I did learn that I had more chutzpah as a kid than I had remembered.
In Lee's memoir, which arrived in stores this week, he acknowledges his failure as well, noting that as a husband, he was often too focused on his music to tend to his marriage. The word loneliness has been commonly used during and even after the pandemic, and the U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy claimed that being in a constant state of loneliness is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes per day. And this number is coming as a real concern for many people, as the World Health Organization has warned the public that loneliness could become a global pandemic soon, which will lead to dementia, heart disease, stroke, and premature death. And in response to this crisis, the Public Health Agency introduced an International Commission on Social Connection that copes against loneliness and social isolation. According to the World Health Organization, the graph of people going through loneliness are similar around the world, regardless of their income or their status. This Thursday, TransLink is announcing a bus rapid transit during a news conference at 12:30 p.m. The term bus rapid transit includes bus service that is fast, frequent, and high capacity, dedicated towards fully traffic-separated lanes with signal priority at intersections. And according to the report by TransLink, TransLink is also studied to be working to extend the SkyTrain up until UBC and Langley. BC government made a decision to fund $10,000 to combat hate and racism that has been ongoing throughout the province, with issues such as Israel-Hamas war, anti-Asian racism from the COVID-19 pandemic, and LGBTQ community. Premier David Eby called this matter deeply troubling and also added that no one should live in fear because of who they are. The funding will go to the BC Civil Forfeiture Grant Program, which helps to direct the money to the anti-hate community as well as organized crime. And Public Safety Minister Mike Farnworth said we're dedicated to creating a safer, more inclusive province that starts by shutting down hate-motivated incidents and intimidation when they occur. A new first-of-its-kind pilot program that uses hydrogen to power commercial trucking will help accelerate BC's transition to a clean economy and create new opportunities for people and businesses with the support of provincial funding. Minister of Energy, Mines and Low Carbon Innovation, Chelsea Osborne, said this announcement will kickstart the use of hydrogen-powered trucks for commercial transportation across the province, helping to get businesses off fossil fuels and build a clean economy. Ontario is boosting the minimum wage of early childhood educators in most licensed childcare centres to $23.86 an hour next year. That's up from an already planned increase to $20 as part of a bid to ease a labor shortage among ECEs. Education Minister Stephen Lecce released his childcare workforce strategy today as advocates warn a shortage could hinder the growth of the national $10 a day program. Lecce says the wage floor will rise up to $25.86 in 2026.
We're talking about a lift in the first year of nearly 19%, which will continue to go up each and every year until 2026. That ends the disparity that existed between our ECs within our schools and the ECs within our childcare centers.
Advocates variously called for wage floors of $25, $30, or up to $40 an hour. The Saskatchewan government has introduced legislation that it says it would enable it to stop collecting the federal carbon tax on natural gas bills, while providing legal protection to employees and board members of the provincial natural gas distributor. Kelly Malone reports more from the Canadian Press.
The Saskatchewan Party government announced last month that Sask Energy would stop remitting the carbon tax on natural gas in response to Ottawa's decision to pause the tax on home heating oil. The federal move largely helps those in Atlantic provinces, and Saskatchewan and Alberta say it's unfair that natural gas hasn't been treated the same. The new Saskatchewan bill would designate the provincial government as the sole registered distributor of natural gas in the province. The government says the legislation would protect Sask Energy, its board, and employees from legal consequences. Kelly Malone, The Canadian Press, Saskatoon.
Hundreds of patients may have been exposed to HIV and hepatitis at a Massachusetts hospital. Dave Pecker with ABC News reports.
Nearly 450 patients at Massachusetts Salem Hospital in suburban Boston may have been exposed to hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and HIV, the hospital announced, over a period of 2 years. The exposure potentially happening during endoscopy procedures, including bronchoscopies, colonoscopies, and laparoscopies during the administration of IV medications, quote, in a manner not consistent with our best practice. Salem Hospital says it was made aware of the incidents earlier this year and that it corrected the practice and says there's no evidence to date of any infections resulting from those incidents. Dave Packer, ABC News.
California authorities have arrested a college professor in connection with the death of a Jewish protester. Walter Ratliff reports more from the Associated Press.
On November 6th, a Jewish pro-Israel demonstrator named Paul Kessler died after a pro-Palestinian gathering in a Los Angeles suburb. California authorities have now arrested a man in connection with Kessler's death. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office says a 50-year-old suspect was booked into jail in the investigation of involuntary manslaughter. Kessler was among a group of pro-Israel demonstrators who showed up at an event advertised as a peaceful gathering to support Palestinians in the Israel-Hamas war. I'm Walter Ratliff.
Now moving on to the sports world, Quinn Hughes scored at 3 minutes 24 seconds into overtime as the Vancouver Canucks overcame a 2-goal deficit to beat the New York Islanders 4-3. Here's a final call on Sportsnet 6-50.
Hughes passes to center for JT Miller. Miller at his own line, scoops it ahead. Hughes has a breakaway. In alone. He shoots. He scores!
In the baseball world, the Oakland Athletics move to Las Vegas was unanimously approved today by Major League Baseball team owners, cementing the sport's first relocation since 2005. Alex Stone has more with ABC News.
The mood after the MLB owners' meeting was not celebratory. Oakland A's owner John Fisher saying,
"Today is an incredibly difficult day for Oakland A's fans."
MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred.
"This is a terrible day for fans in Oakland."
He says exactly when the move will happen isn't clear. The team could stay in Oakland past 2024 when their lease runs out. The new Las Vegas stadium won't be ready until 2028. Alex Stone, ABC News.
The Philadelphia Flyers beat Carolina 3-1 to hand the Hurricanes their first loss in 5 home games this season. Hurricanes captain Jordan Stoll says they aren't playing up to their standards.
As a group, this doesn't look like we've completely bought into how we want to do things, and it's gonna look like that. It's gonna be a 500 club that kind of wins some games, lose some games, and just kind of ho-hum.
The plan to move the athletics baseball team from Oakland to Las Vegas has been finalized. Gaithan Kupao reports from the Associated Press.
The Oakland Athletics move to Las Vegas was unanimously approved Thursday by Major League Baseball team owners. A 75% vote of the 30 teams was necessary to approve A's owner John Fisher's plan, which was endorsed by Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred. The A's plan to move to a stadium to be built on the Las Vegas Strip with $380 million in public financing approved by the Nevada government. They will remain next season at the Oakland Coliseum for the last year of their lease there. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
Jason Tatum scored a game-high 29 points to lead the Boston Celtics to a 117-107 win over the Philadelphia 76ers in a matchup of the early pace setters in the Eastern Conference. Here's a call as Tatum knocks down a three-point shot for a 113-105 lead. Jason Tatum has more with the ABC News.
Celtics by 5 with 122, 121, 120 to go. Holiday, high left-hand dribble against Covington straight away. Holiday puts it between his legs. Push pass for Derek White. Slot drive on the left side. Kick out, open. Tatum, three. Got it!
Devin Booker scored 31 points in his return from a calf injury. Kevin Durant also scored 31, and the Phoenix Suns cruised past the Minnesota Timberwolves 133-115. And here's the call as Booker finishes a driving floater layup while drawing a foul for a 112-86 lead.
Booker makes his way to the right wing, blows past Troy Brown into the lane. The runner's up, around the rim, it drops, count it, and the foul. Book with another chance at a three-point play.
Thank you for listening.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Teresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikakane. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.